Not just a rub. How massage can improve your life. In this chapter, introducing the benefits of massage. Running through the various types of massage and how they help you. What does massage really do for you anyway? Sure, receiving one feels incredible, and watching beautiful people massaging each other on how-to videos looks nice, but what's going on beneath the surface? Is it worth it to actually fork over your hard-earned cash to have someone rub your skin for an hour? Should you spend your precious time and energy learning how to give a good massage yourself? Is massage really effective, or is it just an unnecessary, flashy indulgence, like fish eggs on toast? Well, being a massage junkie myself, I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't want to get a massage anytime, any place, for any reason or no reason at all. For me, massage has just always seemed like such an obviously good thing to do. Starting way back in 11th grade when Grace came over to visit at my parents' house one afternoon, and nobody else was home. Being a typical 17-year-old, I was hoping that we were soon going to engage in some good old-fashioned hanky-panky, and when Grace told me to loosen my belt and lie down on the carpet, I began singing Handel's Messiah silently to myself. Grace touched me then on the small of my back, and I'll never forget the sensation. "This is a massage technique that somebody taught me," she said. "How does it feel?" "Ah, it feels, kind of, unbelievable," I said. And unbelievable was exactly the right word. Grace was doing something clearly non-sexual, and I couldn't believe that anything non-sexual could feel so good, that there was a way to be so intimate with somebody and yet not get in trouble with her father if he were to find out about it. In short, I couldn't believe that something that wasn't illegal, immoral, or fattening could be so sumptuously pleasurable. 10 Part 1. Discovering Massage. I asked Grace to keep doing what she was doing, and as she did so, I began devising, right there with my face buried in my parents' green shag carpeting, a future lifestyle that included the absolutely highest number of massages possible. This early experience pointed out a fundamental truth about massage therapy that those people who judge it without trying it often miss. There is a difference between sex and massage therapy. There, I said it, right here in Chapter 1, and I'm glad. Some people out there will forever mix the two up, which does a disservice to everybody else, especially those people who have shied away from massage over the years because of a perceived, less than pristine image. I discovered in that youthful, eye-opening experience that massage does indeed feel unbelievable, and that discovery was a great place to begin. Now, years later, after studying and teaching massage and experiencing the myriad facets of massage in both the United States and other countries, I've been introduced to other, deeper reasons for including it in my life, reasons with profound implications for improved health, well-being, and even longevity. In this chapter, and throughout this book, I share these reasons with you. I also introduce you to various types of massage and finally provide you with a fun, quick activity to get you started on your massage journey, appreciating the basic benefits of massage. If I were to go into some of the stories about how massage has helped people change their lives, heal themselves, become rich and famous, and so on, you probably wouldn't believe me right away because, after all, I'm still in Chapter 1, so I'm going to start out slowly and offer you some of the simplest, everyday ways that massage can help you, some of which still may come as a surprise to you. Here then, not ranked in any particular order, are some basic benefits of massage that perhaps didn't pop straight into your head the first time you thought about it. Massage helps relieve muscular spasm and tension, raises immune efficiency, improves circulation, promotes the healing of tissues. Chapter 1. Not just a rub. How massage can improve your life. 11. Increases healthy functioning of the skin, engenders profound relaxation, offers emotional reassurance, improves appearance. The following sections take these points one at a time and let you get comfortable with them. Helps relieve muscular spasm and tension. As you can see in Figure 1.1, muscles that are relaxed and happy are definitely physically different than muscles that are tensed up due to stress, overuse, injury, and more. The limp rope in the figure, is your muscle. The knotted rope is your muscle on stress. Figure 1-1. Ropes representing stressed and unstressed muscles. But there's more to it than that, believe it or not. Regardless of how wickedly clever my rope analogy is, the human body is much more complex. In fact, it's so complex that nobody has completely figured it out yet, even though countless researchers have spent a lifetime trying to do so. A whole bunch of really interesting things about the body have been discovered. However, along with how it responds to various types of stimuli, including massage. For example, one of the most direct effects of massage is to help loosen the tension you experience as knots, kinks, and spasms in your muscles. Massage achieves this goal in a number of ways. 12 Part 1. Discovering massage. The application of pressure creates awareness of tension in a particular area, and the person receiving the massage can then begin to consciously release that tension. Through the application of friction to the area, a thermodynamic effect takes place, warming and softening tight, hard connective tissue. Stimulating trigger points soothes the local nerves, allowing a release of contractions, raises immune efficiency. Did you know that you have a vast system of vessels running through your body, roughly parallel to your circulatory system, and that this system is filled with a fluid that is responsible for carrying away and eliminating many of the organisms, bacteria, viruses, and other microscopic bad guys that may otherwise attack you? Yes, it's true. This setup is the lymph system, otherwise known as the Canadian Mounties of your body. Your lymph system has nodes at various strategically located areas throughout your body, and these nodes have the job of capturing the invaders and processing them before eventual expulsion through your excretory system. Now, you may be wondering, how the heck does this lymph fluid get pumped through my body anyway? Funny you should ask. I've devised a test to discern your knowledge on that very subject. Don't worry, this is just a one-question quiz, so don't let your anxiety levels rise too high over it. Here it goes. Question: how does the body pump the critically important lymph fluid through its lymph vessels, keeping your inner ocean clean and healthy? A. The heart pumps the lymph, just like it pumps the blood, even though the heart isn't directly connected to the lymph system, and this answer can't possibly be true. B. The centrifugal force from riding various carnival rides is the best way to get the lymph fluid moving. C. Fear caused by sudden, unexpected physical proximity to vampires or werewolves causes the lymph vessels to contract, circulating the fluid. D. Movement, muscular contraction, and massage therapy are the ways lymph fluid is most effectively moved through the body, because the lymph system has no pump of its own, such as the heart. Right? The answer is D. By helping your body circulate this lymph fluid, massage aids in the elimination of noxious invaders, toxins, from your body. Chapter 1. Not just a rub. How massage can improve your life. 13. There are other factors at play too in massage's effectiveness as an immune booster. Studies in orphanages have shown that infants and children deprived of touch experience stunted growth, both emotionally and physically. Further studies showed that touch promotes the release of human growth hormone, HGH, which is essential to our development. If a child doesn't receive sufficient touch, his or her development is stunted, and susceptibility to disease increases, with potentially catastrophic results. Many of the untouched children in orphanages have died for lack of simple contact. Improves circulation. The cigar-smoking octogenarians who frequented old-fashioned health spas used to give "it's good for the circulation" as their reason for receiving massage. And they were right. Students in massage school are taught to always massage in the direction of circulation, toward the heart, whenever they're applying enough pressure to move the blood underneath the skin. The reason is that your veins have little one-way valves in them that keep blood from going back in the wrong direction. So obviously, pushing the blood back against these valves, potentially harming them, isn't a good idea. In fact, when these valves don't work properly on their own, the blood seeps backward and pools up, causing the appearance of varicose veins, which are a contraindication, condition making massage unadvisable. But I'm skipping to Chapter 10. Sorry about that. You have the idea. Some massage movements physically push the blood around in its vessels and can therefore, when done properly, push it in the right direction, improving circulation. Massage also draws more blood to the surface of the body and into areas of relatively poorer circulation, thus bringing with it much-needed oxygen and other nutrients for the tissues. Promotes the healing of tissues. This benefit is primarily a result of those in the preceding two sections. By helping to bring nutrient-rich blood into areas that are recovering from any type of problem, and by helping to cleanse these same areas of toxins, by stimulating the lymph system, massage promotes quicker healing. 14 Part 1. Discovering massage. Also, certain types of massage stretch and soften tissues in traumatized areas, helping them regain natural elasticity and strength faster. But beware, you definitely don't want to rush straight in and massage your cousin John's swollen knee after his recent surgery unless you've been trained in bona fide massage classes and know what you're doing. Increases healthy functioning of the skin. The skin is where massage has its most pronounced effects. In fact, I've devoted much of Chapter 3 to it. So let me just say here that massage includes several actions that leave the skin silky, vibrant, and fully functioning in both directions. By that I mean it promotes the shedding of dead cells while also encouraging the absorption of moisture, nutrients, vitamins, and other vital elements, especially with the aid of massage creams, oils, and lotions created for just that purpose. In this sense, massage helps the skin breathe. Just as your lungs breathe both in and out, inhaling and exhaling, healthy skin must breathe in both directions too, and massage can help with that. Offers emotional reassurance. In a famous experiment conducted by some truly sadistic researchers, some unfortunate little monkeys were brought up in cages with surrogate mothers. Each monkey had two mothers in the cage with him. One was a rag doll and the other was a hard wire shell. The uncomfortable wire mother had a nipple with real milk coming out, but the rag doll mother had no nipples and no milk. The researchers shocked the monkeys and then sat back with smug researcher expressions on their faces to see what would happen. In every case, when they were desperate for comfort and safety, the monkeys scampered straight over to rag doll mommy, regardless of the fact that she had never provided any other kind of food or sustenance beyond the fact of being soft and cuddly. The researchers were able to conclude, with a good degree of confidence, that tactile sensations are the most important factors involved with emotional comforting. These findings bring up an important realization as far as humans are concerned. 2. Almost every person alive, when shocked, would rather squeeze a rag doll than a hardwire shell with a nipple attached. This bit of information I've found makes a fascinating icebreaker at cocktail parties. Massage, by offering a sustained, intentional, caring form of tactile stimulation, is one of the best ways to impart emotional reassurance and emotional reassurance. Chapter 1. Not just a rub, how massage can improve your life. 15 just may be the #1 need of humans in the 21st century. Modern urban dwellers are all a bunch of shocked monkeys searching for mom, basically. And massage is the ultimate ragdoll. Engenders profound relaxation, Dr. Herbert Benson of Harvard wrote in the Relaxation Response, Avon Books, that by repeating certain breathing and concentration exercises, people can greatly reduce their levels of stress. Massage, by its very nature, induces a similar response. It's a mini vacation that you can take right there inside your own body. No need to buy expensive plane tickets or submit yourself to the hassles of taxi rides and hotel rooms. Just close your eyes and let someone else send you to your own virtual Tahiti. If you receive a massage and don't allow yourself to relax, it's the same thing as going to Tahiti and not enjoying the scenery, the warmth, the water, or the colorful little umbrellas in the cocktails. In other words, it's up to you. Nobody can force you to relax while receiving a massage, just as no one can force you to enjoy the South Pacific, but you have to be kinda crazy not to. Improves appearance. The combination of all the preceding benefits leaves just about anybody who receives them looking better than they did before they started. And in that way, massage can improve the appearance of even the most stubbornly unattractive person. You know the type. The man with the big crease down the middle of his forehead, or the woman with her mouth pulled taut like she just chewed an entire lemon. Most of what people deem unattractive is simply poor attitude, and the people with the strangest-looking faces and bodies can still be very attractive, especially if they're tension-free, healthy, flushed with the rosy glow of good circulation, quickly recovering from any painful conditions, covered with silky breathing skin, confident and emotionally assured, profoundly relaxed. Who can resist a person like this? 16 Part by Discovering Massage. Exploring the massage menu. There are literally hundreds of types of massage practiced around the world, many of them with wonderfully evocative names like Tuina and Lomalomi. This isn't the section in which I'm going to explain each of those massages to you, but you can find a fairly extensive explanation of several major styles in Chapter 4. Instead, what I'm doing here is explaining the generic types of massage, broken down into categories based on the observable effects they can have in your own life. Think of this section like the menu in a restaurant. Each category, breakfast, lunch, dinner, consists of distinctly different dishes, and yet the foods used to prepare the dishes can be the same. So the same eggs used to make your omelet at breakfast can be used in your egg salad at lunch or your dessert after dinner. It's the same with the following categories of massage. Any particular massage technique can be used to create various effects. Relaxation massage. This category may be the most familiar to those who haven't delved into the world of massage before. In essence, the purpose of the relaxation massage is to relax. Relaxation massage is particularly helpful in these instances. For stress relief, when the daily grind is just too much and the simple act of lying down and having someone pay solicitous attention to you for an hour is enough to make a big difference. For pampering, which is fine as long as you don't feel guilty about it. It's sports massage. Just ask the world-class athletes who travel with their own personal massage therapists. They can tell you what a difference a massage can make. Many Olympians and high-level players in all sports are true believers, but they aren't the only ones who use massage as part of their training. Even amateur athletes and weekend warriors incorporate it whenever they can, pre-event, post-event, and for ongoing training. Rehabilitative massage. This type of massage helps the body repair itself. Many people have found that it was the key factor in helping them heal quickly and get back to normal activity levels as soon as possible after injuries and surgery. Doctors like massage too. Doctors, in case you haven't noticed, have really gotten aboard the massage bandwagon over the past several years. You seldom hear of any physicians questioning the validity of massage or its ability to help people in many situations. In fact, more and more hospitals have been incorporating massage into their programs, some with stellar results. The prestigious Mayo Clinic in Minnesota has implemented a complementary and integrative medicine program that features massage therapy. The director of the program, Brent Bauer, MD, is a firm believer in the importance of massage, having spearheaded several successful massage-oriented studies in the hospital. One such study involved giving cardiac patients a series of massages after their surgeries. People came from far and wide to sign up for this program, and the massage seemed to help in their healing. On average, they were able to leave the hospital earlier than those patients who weren't part of the program. Dr. Bauer ran into an unanticipated problem, however. Many patients who improved dramatically and were able to leave the hospital early refused to do so. The reason? They didn't want to miss out on the massages that were still owed to them as part of the program. In France, where my co-author, Michel Van Welden, received his training, physicians look at massage in a wholly different light. What we do is respected as part of the medical model all across Europe, says Michel. Physicians there have no qualms about referring particular cases to massage therapists. In fact, the word we use in France for massage therapist is kinesiothérapeute, which really signifies a combination of massage therapist, physical therapist, and holistic practitioner who utilizes a number of healing tools, such as aromatherapy and herbology. There are 25,000 of them in France, which is an area the size of Texas. Most of them have their own clinics, and they are very highly regarded by physicians and patients alike. 18 Part 1. Discovering Massage All Get Out. Several of the massage styles I go over in Chapter 4 are based on an understanding of the body's energy systems, focusing on how to balance and enhance your inner invisible energy. Massage for increased awareness. Most people inhabit their bodies without giving it much thought. They walk, sit, and lie around in them on automatic pilot, relying on the old patterns and habits they picked up in childhood. Sometimes they're negatively influenced by injuries and other traumas that turn these unconscious habits into potentially debilitating conditions. They feel stuck in certain postures and can't get out. A massage can help you become aware of how you're holding onto certain patterns of tension and thus let you break them, and it can help you gain self-confidence through releasing old, negative body images. Spiritually oriented massage. Depending on your frame of mind, any massage can be a spiritual experience, regardless of whether you receive it in an ancient Asian temple or the treatment room of your local health club. All you need are two people, focused on awareness, breathing, releasing, and compassion. This spiritual aspect of massage can be used in the following ways. For meditation, when the sensitive sharing that takes place between two people in a good massage leads you to quiet your mind and remember some of the more important things in life. By ministers, nuns, and other clergy members who use this laying on of hands as a means to express compassion and in some cases to invoke healing. By practitioners of Eastern traditions, such as Taoism and Buddhism. Buddhist monks in Thailand, for example, often learn the art of massage and practice it in their temples. Massage for emotional growth. Allowing yourself to be touched with caring, therapeutic intentions takes a high degree of maturity. Several types of massage have been developed to access psychological issues and bring them to light. This situation is especially true in cases of past emotional trauma involving abuse and negative body image. Chapter 1. Not just a rub, how massage can improve your life. 19 Massage for sensual pleasure. This type of massage can be performed by any two consenting adults who have a relationship of respect and trust between them. It's especially useful for long-term couples seeking new and exciting activities to spice up their lives, and for short-term couples looking for ways to slow themselves down and enjoy the moment, rather than rush through to you-know-what. Massage. For non-humans, believe it or not, special courses offer to teach people how to massage animals. As anyone who's ever scratched behind the ear of an appreciative pet can tell you, they love it. Certain animals in particular have been the lucky recipients of massage. Horses, especially race and show horses, that are each worth more than the gross national product of the average third-world country, dogs and cats, and other people, with fur that people live with on an intimate basis, your very first massage touch. Humans are sensitive creatures, and when you give something as personal as a massage to someone else, you're making yourself vulnerable to his judgment. What if he doesn't like your technique? What if he doesn't like you? When you give of yourself through massage, it's natural to be afraid of what people may think and to wonder, secretly, if you're doing it right or if you're good enough. I think you should forget all about that stuff. Your massage abilities are not something to be proud of or ashamed of. Your abilities are something you should share. As long as you tune in and become sensitive to your partner, you can give a good massage. The idea is not to focus on being good, but to focus on doing good. If you do these things, you never have time to worry about whether you're good or not. As long as your heart is into what you're doing, you're guaranteed to do it the right way. Regardless of what I've just said, you may be nervous about getting your hands on somebody else and actually doing a whole massage. It's intimidating, right? In order to quell those fears, right here in the first chapter, your 20 Part 1. Discovering massage, going to get your hands. Oily, and do one little massage move on the most public, non-threatening, often touched part of anyone's body, the hand. Don't worry, it's easy. 1. Place a dime-sized dab of massage oil, cream, or lotion in one hand and rub your hands together vigorously to warm the lotion up. 2. Gradually bring both of your hands into contact on either side of your partner's outstretched hand and hold them there for a moment, just feeling the warmth. 3. Slowly start to rub. Squeeze the fingers, press the palms, and rub your thumbs over the wrist. 4. Ask your partner how the movements feel. Does he want more pressure? Less? Does a certain spot feel particularly good? Get used to the give and take. That is an important part of every good massage. 5. Keep massaging the hand for at least 5 minutes. When you're done, slowly bring your hands away. The number one complaint most people have about massage is that it ends too soon, so don't shortchange your partner. You can apply a warm, damp washcloth for an extra added relaxing effect at the end. 6. Ask your partner to compare the way his massaged and non-massaged hands feel. Both of you may be amazed. See, that wasn't so scary, was it? That's just the tip of the iceberg. The chapters that follow give you all sorts of information to help you add to this basic technique. A brief history of touch. In this chapter, tracking the high points of historical massage, looking at massage in today's world, gazing into massage's crystal ball. This chapter is supposed to extol the virtues of certain Greek physicians who developed massage a couple thousand years ago, and then move on to the beginning of the 20th century and talk about a certain Swedish man who was the father of modern Western massage, and then the chapter should chronicle the... Was that the sound of your head smacking the table? Are you already getting so bored that you're about to fling this book against the nearest wall in desperation? Why can't he tell me something fascinating and different? Okay, hold on. I'm going to make this chapter a teeny bit different from the history chapters in most massage books, the ones that treat the chronology of massage like the dry, academic stuff you find in history texts. What could be more unlike the vibrant flesh and bones reality of a subject as physical as massage? So, instead of a lot of facts and figures, I'm going to winnow down the essence of this great science and art of massage into a few pithy historical moments. History, or at least massage history, should be fun as well as informative, so settle back as this chapter presents stories from the lives of great massage pioneers, including, yes, even a certain Swedish man. But it's not all history. In this chapter, I also discuss today's massage landscape and how massage may continue to evolve in the future. Dramatic moments in massage history. For your benefit and enlightenment, this section recreates dramatic scenes from various important massage periods throughout history. Much of what follows has been garnished with a large dose of creative license, but rest assured that the information is based on historical fact. Only the boring parts have been deleted to protect the innocent reader. 22 Part 1. Discovering Massage Shaman. Bob. Hands-on healer. Thousands of years ago, beneath the primeval rainforest canopies of the vast Amazon jungle in what is now part of Brazil, an old shaman squatted down by a river, twisting the leaves and stems of a hardy vine between his worn fingers. The shaman's name was unintelligible to modern ears, so I'll call him Bob. His fingers were working the powerful ayahuasca vine, which gave his people visions that helped them to heal. Bob boiled the leaves and stems of the vine in water with other plants, making a thick, syrupy tea that he brought with him back into the village. It was night. The rainforest canopy above was filled with the screeching sounds of life. Arranging. The members of the tribe in a circle around a fire he had built, Bob gave them each sips of the tea, and they began to twirl, dance, and sing traditional songs. Some of them, the ones who needed healing the most, fell into a trance, and Bob approached them. As the others watched, Bob appeared to literally reach into each person's body with his fingers. Then his fingers would flutter up toward the dark sky above the fire. He would touch them, brush them off, shake their limbs, staying in almost constant contact, and everyone could see, with the help of the ayahuasca, what Bob always saw. Blurry. Spots where each person's body was weak and demons of darkness clinging to a shoulder. Although Bob used powerful herbs and jungle plants, his primary tool was touch. The difference between a casual touch from another tribe member. Great Greeks go nude. Imagine the Greek sun burning in a clear blue sky. Below, in the outdoor gymnasium, dozens of naked athletes are exercising, each of them so tanned and muscled and healthy that they look like, well, Greek gods. Why naked, you ask? The word gymnasium itself comes from the Greek gymnasion, which means to exercise naked. From gymnos, naked. Those fun-loving Greeks, I tell you. At any rate, the sun is beating down. All these naked Greeks are running around, outdoing each other in feats of fitness. And old Asclepius is over there in the trainer's corner, ready and waiting each time another Adonis comes running up with a torn Achilles tendon or sore lower back. The natural thing, of course, is to offer massage, along with other herbs and remedies. Supposedly, Asclepius became so proficient at this healing that he could even raise the dead. As a reward, Zeus struck him down with a thunderbolt and killed him. This tale brings us to one of the very earliest philosophical lessons tied to the practice of massage. If you like to massage naked Greek athletes, try to keep it a secret. Chapter 2. A Brief History of Touch, 23, and an Intentional, Focused Touch. From Bob was sometimes the difference between life and death. His touch healed, and everyone knew it. The Tao of Massage. The enigmatic Chinese word Tao confuses many people. For one thing, why is the word spelled T-A-O when it's pronounced Dao? And for another thing, what's it supposed to mean anyway? Does it have anything to do with the New York Stock Exchange? Many people have heard of the Tao of Pooh, physics, or flower arranging, and if you ever read one of those far-out books on Eastern philosophy published in the 1970s, the kind printed on organic oatmeal-type paper, you probably remember the phrase, "The Tao that can be spoken of is not the true Tao." So how are you supposed to talk about it? Regardless of the fact that you apparently can't talk about the Tao, you can still talk about massage, which is exactly what an early Chinese Taoist did around 5,000 years ago. He wrote a book called The Kung Fu of Tao Che, Kung Fu of Tao, Z, that described the use of medicinal plants, exercises, and a system of massage for the treatment of disease. Because it was one of the first books ever written on any subject, the Kung Fu really goes to show you just how ancient and important this whole subject of massage is after all. A Greek man with a mission, Asclepius, Asclepius, son of Apollo, the Greek god of healing, may have been an actual Greek man who lived around 1200 BC, but just as likely he was a mythological figment of the Greek imagination. At any rate, he was credited with being the first Westerner to combine exercise with massage. He also founded the world's first gymnasium. The Middle Ages. Nobody massaged anybody else, or was even allowed to touch much, during the Middle Ages, which almost wiped out Western civilization. Luckily, a few hardy souls decided, despite vigorous opposition, to sneak off and touch each other in barns, stables, and other hidden places whenever possible, thus assuring the continuation of the human race and allowing people a chance to practice rudimentary massage techniques at the same time. Needless to say, the Middle Ages weren't a good time to be a professional massage therapist. 24. Part 1. Discovering Massage. The Swedish Scenario. In most places in the Western world today, when you ask for a massage, you receive one form or another of Swedish massage. And so you may ask, why is it called Swedish massage? Here are some of the typical answers people have given to that question. People in Sweden were the only ones liberal enough to allow massage to be named after them. The Swedish director Ingmar Bergman liked to receive massage after a hard day on the movie set, and so they named the technique after him. Nobody knows why it's called Swedish massage, but everyone agrees it sounds better than Lithuanian massage or Uruguayan massage. Actually, Swedish massage is named after a Swedish physiologist and fencing master by the name of Per Henrik Ling, 1776–1839, who developed a system of medical gymnastics that included the moves now used in basic massage. He eventually became known as the father of physical therapy. Absorption. Once in a while, you want to allow some people across the border to spend those tourist dollars and improve the economy, right? Your skin can do the same thing through a process called absorption. Your skin can absorb certain cosmetic products, chemicals, drugs, and water in small amounts. Unfortunately, certain items aren't beneficial to your body, such as toxins and pesticides. Your skin is equally capable of allowing these terrorists to cross the border, which means you should stay on guard regarding the products you come into contact with. The importance of getting licked. Have you ever watched a cat give birth? Directly afterwards, mama cat begins licking her babies all over, with a special concentration in the genital area. The same is true for dogs, and horses, and cows, and aardvarks, antelopes, and giraffes. In fact, every species of mammal, with the exception of man, lick their young immediately after birth. At first, you may assume that this licking is to clean off the gooey stuff plastered all over the newborn's body. That's partially true, but far more important than the cleaning is the licking itself, the touch of tongue to flesh or fur. I was in my first massage therapy class in California when the instructor stated that massaging a newborn baby's perineum, the area between the genitals and anus, with a warm, moist cloth was a good idea to simulate the action of licking, engaged in by other animals. In other words, he was advising us to metaphorically lick the baby's butt. At the moment, and for several years afterwards, I thought this California massage instructor was a little too out there for his own good. But now, after discovering the importance of this type of stimulation in every other species of mammal, it makes perfect sense. This critical form of early contact jumpstarts the newborn's gastrointestinal tract and is perhaps the most primal type of massage that we humans can offer our young. You can recreate the natural sensations of licking for your newborn by taking a baby wipe or moist towel and rubbing it gently over the skin in this important area a couple of times a day for the first few months of life, starting on day 1. Part 1. Discovering Massage. Excretion and secretion. Your skin can also get rid of toxic elements like exiling unwanted characters from the country. This process is called excretion, and it's handled by those ruffians, the sweat glands. You have several million of these glands, and they eliminate waste products through perspiration. In addition to excreting, your skin secretes as well, issuing forth an oily substance called sebum that coats the skin and helps preserve moisture. Secretion is a good thing because the skin is about 50 to 70% moisture, and you don't want it to dry out. Heat regulation. Your skin is constantly monitoring the temperature in the environment and helping to maintain your body's internal temperature at an even 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius, through adjustments of blood vessels and sweat glands which dilate or contract in response to heat and cold. Respiration, oxygen comes in through the pores of the skin, and carbon dioxide goes out, just like in the lungs, but on a smaller scale. If you've seen the classic James Bond movie Goldfinger, you may remember the famous opening scene, which featured a woman painted completely gold and then left on a hotel room bed in Miami Beach. In the movie, she died because her skin couldn't breathe, and a similar fate can happen to you in real life if all of your pores are suddenly blocked. If you don't touch me, I'll die. Touch is literally a matter of life and death. The philosopher Bertrand Russell noted the importance of touch, saying, "Not only our geometry and our physics, but our whole conception of what exists outside us is based on the sense of touch. For this reason, it's urgently important that infants and small children receive an abundant supply of human contact." In the early 1900s, Dr. Henry Dwight Chapin reported that when orphaned babies were routinely put in homes and left to wither, away with essentially zero human contact, a startling 99% of them died within 1 year of admission. Those who survived suffered signs of retardation and maladjustment. To say that the world would truly be a better place if more people received massage, especially as part of their developmental years, isn't an exaggeration. Touch is a vital part of human growth, for individuals and for the entire community. Chapter 3. Your Skin and What's Beneath It. 37. Pig Massage for Health and Beauty. Even the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has become convinced that massage offers undeniable results. My co-author, Michelle Van Welden, has worked extensively with the FDA and has substantiated some claims for the effectiveness of massage. Following are some of his findings. Scientific evidence points to the fact that massage can positively impact skin tone. Pigs love massage, it's true. In a series of experiments at Vanderbilt University and UCLA, Michael worked with a team of ace physicians administering a series of massage experiments on some very special subjects: Flopsy, Zeus, and Pee-wee, 3 Yorkshire pigs. The 3 pigs were chosen for their high moral character and love of luxurious spa treatments. No, actually, they were chosen because pigs, even though you may not like to admit it, have remarkably similar skin to humans. Twice a week for 13 weeks, the 3 brave little oinkers received deeply stimulating massages, after which researchers found that this type of massage stimulates fibroblasts, which produce collagen. An increase in collagen fibers can improve the elasticity and youthful appearance of the skin. Massage helps relieve the stress of having your house blown down by a wolf. Okay, I made that one up. So the next time you see a particularly relaxed-looking sow sauntering down the street, you can bet she's just come from an appointment with her massage therapist. Sensation. If skin were basically just nature's way of keeping what's inside of our bodies in and what's outside out, life wouldn't be nearly as much fun as it is. Providing you with a rich, complex variety of sensations is by far the most personally gratifying of the skin's functions, which is something you develop an even greater appreciation for as you practice the techniques in the other chapters of this book. Touching with awareness. Minding what's under the skin. Most people would prefer to leave the interior of the human body a mystery, like the ingredients in a Hostess Twinkie. You're better off just enjoying it, they figure, and not asking too many questions. This attitude works fine for most applications in life, such as walking around, going to the movies, eating 38 Part 1, discovering massage pizza, and so forth. But after you decide to massage somebody, you benefit by knowing a little about human anatomy. Here's why. You become aware of certain areas that are delicate or sensitive and should therefore be avoided. See Chapter 10 for more information on this issue. You develop an idea of what's going on internally when someone complains about specific aches and pains. You discover how certain strokes on the surface are acting on deeper structures, such as the circulatory system, the lymph system, and more. You come to understand how your touch is affecting the body as a whole. In this section, I help give you a very basic understanding of what you're touching, not just on the surface of the body, but also into its depths. Wow, that's deep. Remembering to treat the body as a three-dimensional object. Perhaps the most fundamental misconception people have as they first set out to massage somebody is that the human body is a two-dimensional object, rather than a three-dimensional object. How is that possible, you say? Everyone knows humans aren't flat, right? Well, that's true, but everyone knows that a lake is three-dimensional too, having depth as well as width and breadth, and yet when most people think of a lake, they think of the surface of the lake, the visible area of water surrounded on all sides by the shore. And in a similar way, even though you know there's depth inside you too, containing all the unfathomable mysteries of tissue and bone, you may still habitually concern yourself with the surface because that's what you see. The problem with this two-dimensional way of thinking is obvious if you consider what would happen if you were to attempt to walk out to the middle of the lake. Quite quickly, you'd understand about the lake's three-dimensionality. The same applies when you wade out onto the seemingly two-dimensional surface of a person's body as you give her a massage. The mysterious liquid depths beneath the skin suddenly surge up around your fingers, and if you don't know how to swim, you drown. You can give a nice, pleasant rub-down without knowing a thing about what you're doing. The mere tactile stimulation of skin to skin has positive therapeutic effects. But to give a good massage, one that makes people say, "Wow, that was incredible," you have to do a little more than just rubbing. But that's one of the reasons you bought this book, right? Discovering how to feel. Palpation. For a moment, imagine you have a bas relief map of the world before you in which all the landmarks are raised from the surface. Now imagine an opaque layer of rubber covering the whole thing. Reaching down and touching this smooth surface, can you tell where your fingers are just by feeling? Where's California? Where's the tip of South America? Where's the protruding peninsula of Iberia? Can you determine what it is you're feeling, even without seeing it? Now, think of the human body as that covered-up map that you're trying to identify by feeling its contours. This type of feeling with a purpose is called palpation. Many professional massage people use palpation to determine what type of massage they're going to give to an individual based on the way the person's body feels compared to the norm. You can get very sensitive fingers by practicing this technique, and in this section, I lead you through an exercise to help you start that sensitization process. Proof that you're three-dimensional. Here's a way to prove scientifically that you're indeed a three-dimensional being and that all kinds of secrets exist below the surface of your skin. You only need two things to do this experiment: your hand and a flat surface such as a table or desk. First, turn your hand palm downward and hold it over the table a few inches high. Then reach down with just your fingertips to touch the surface, bending your middle finger and folding it under your hand until the first two knuckles are flat on the table. Good. Now lift your other fingers up and away from the tabletop one at a time while leaving your middle finger firmly planted. Go ahead and do this right along with me as you're reading if you want. First, try the thumb. It lifts downright easily, doesn't it? Way up high. Next, try the index finger. Not quite as impressive as the thumb, but still definitely off the table. Try the pinky finger. You see how it lifts up about the same or higher than the index finger? And lastly, try the ring finger. Go ahead. I'll wait. What's wrong? Come on. Lift it up already. Can't do it? You may have tried this experiment before. Somebody showed it to me when I was in high school, but it wasn't until I was studying anatomy as part of massage training that I understood what's happening. Why can't you lift your ring finger? The secret is this: buried within the depths of your forearm are four tiny little muscles. One lifts your index finger, one lifts your pinky finger, and one lifts your thumb. But you have just one muscle that lifts both the ring finger and the middle finger. And so when one of them is held down, the other one can't lift up. Go ahead. Try it with the ring finger on the table rather than the middle finger. Same result, right? This example is just to show the effects of your three-dimensional depths on your two-dimensional surface. It's important to remember this when you're getting ready to massage someone, and I remind you to think 3D in the chapters in Part 3. 40 Part 1. Discovering Massage. Getting a feeling for palpation. Try this exercise to begin sensitizing your fingers to the various textures, shapes, and landmarks you find beneath the skin. 1. Sitting in a chair with your back straight, turn your head to the right as if you're trying to look back over your right shoulder. 2. Reach up with your right hand and, using just the fingertips, feel gently along the front left side of your neck until you locate the long band of vertical muscle stretching from your collarbone up to the side of your head just below your left ear. This muscle is called the sternocleidomastoid muscle and is illustrated in Figure 3.1. 3. Walk your fingertips up and down this muscle, feeling for where it connects near the center of your collarbone, the origin, and up along the base of your skull, the insertion. Do certain parts feel tighter than others? Is part of the muscle thinner than another? Figure 3.1. Turning your head to one side exposes your sternocleidomastoid muscle. Sternocleidomastoid muscle. Sternum clavicle. Chapter 3. Your skin and what's beneath it. 41.4. Grasp the muscle between your fingertips as if you were going to pluck it like a guitar string. Be careful not to dig your fingers into the sensitive front part of your neck. 5. Still grasping the muscle, slowly bring your head back to center, feeling the softening in the muscle between your fingers as you do so. Repeat this step several times back and forth. This repetition gives you a feel for how muscle fibers contract and relax in order to make you move. Without contracting and relaxing muscle fibers, you would be a big, unmovable blob. Not good. 6. Walk your fingers down to the base of this muscle and then onto the collarbone. How does the bone feel different than the muscle? In what ways is it the same? 7. Walk your fingers up the sternocleidomastoid and then off this muscle and onto the top of your shoulder. Use a little pressure to feel along the length of the muscle that runs from shoulder to neck. Where does it feel harder? Where does it feel softer? Do you notice any knots or bands of harder tissue within the more pliable surrounding area? Notice whether you find any points that feel tenderer when you touch them, and whether these tender points correspond to the knots. Take several minutes to do this process. Get a feeling for feeling. Let your fingers become familiar with all the permutations of texture, density, and tone that you can find just below the surface of the skin. Bony landmarks. You have at least 47 bony landmarks, specific areas on the skeleton that you can feel, from above the skin, throughout your body. Now, before you go making any crude comments about bony landmarks, let me assure you that this term is indeed what professionals everywhere call them. They have compelling names, such as xiphoid process, occipital protuberance, and greater tuberosity of the humerus. I'm going to use layman's terms, though, and expose you to a few of these landmarks as part of a game. That's right, it's time to play. The Bony Landmark Game. The game is simple. I describe a particular landmark, see Figure 3-2, for you in terms that you can understand and give you directions on how to locate it through palpation. Then all you have to do is supply the common, everyday term used to describe this landmark. It's important that you actually do the palpation, not just read the words, because the process is what familiarizes you with the terrain you massage. In other chapters. Ready? 42. Part 1. Discovering Massage. 1. You can find this landmark by holding one hand out in front of you with your palm facing you. Using the fingertips of your other hand, notice that you have 2 bones in the forearm, one on the pinky finger side, the ulna, and one on the thumb side, the radius. Follow the bone on the pinky finger side all the way from your wrist to its extreme other end. You find a bump there called the olecranon process, otherwise known as the kotas. And 2. Cross one of your feet up and rest it on the other knee so you can examine it. Then feel with both hands along the shin bone, tibia, in the front of your lower leg. Follow it down all the way to your foot and see what happens to it. Feel how it curves back toward you and ends up in a bump at the top of your foot. This spot is the medial malleolus, or hakudias chapidir. 3. With your fingers, trace down the top of your foot and then back under the foot in the opposite direction from your toes onto the calcaneus, or 4. Now sit up straight. Reach down along one side of your body until your hand almost slips underneath you. Right at that point, you should feel a bony knob at the top of the longest bone in the body. That's the greater trochanter of the femur, which is otherwise known as the chili phainquoius. 5. Walk your fingers back up along the side of your body about 6 to 8 inches until you hit the next bony landmark, a sharp ridge that sticks out that you can follow along toward the front of your body for a few inches. This landmark is the iliac crest, also known as the 6. Reaching your hands up to your face. Locate your chin and then feel back along the lower ridge toward your ear. It curves up here, forming the ramus of the mandible, otherwise known as the point at the angle of the jafhuanhao. 7. You need a partner for this one. Have her lie face down on a comfortable surface with her back exposed, and then gently lift her arm, bend it at the elbow, and place her hand on her lower back. Let her upper arm rest down along her side. By doing this movement, you cause a big bump to appear on her upper back. Feel along the edges of this triangular-shaped bone called the scapula, otherwise known as the hasansuri. Answers. 1. Elbow. 2. Inner ankle bone. 3. Heel. 4. thigh bone. 5. Hip bone. 6. Jawbone. 7. Shoulder blade. Sensitive fingers come in handy. Your fingertips have the largest concentration of sensory receptors of any part of your body. This feature is quite convenient for giving massages, which requires a real sensitivity to the person you're touching. Soft tissues. After you know how to familiarize yourself with bony landmarks, see the preceding section. You're probably wondering about all the other parts of your body that aren't bony landmarks. After all, you're not going to be massaging bones. The soft tissue is what you have in your hands most of the time, and by soft tissue, I mean muscles mostly, and a little bit of connective tissue as well. Muscles comprise 40 to 60% of your total body weight, depending upon your gender and physical condition, and you have over 600 of them, large and small. Each one is compartmentalized in a sheath of fascia, which sets it apart and helps it function as a distinct unit, although the truth is that you never use just one muscle to perform any given action. They're always working in groups to create movement. The slightest movement of the most mundane part of your anatomy, your left knee, for example, requires the precisely timed and perfectly executed synchronization of many muscles. Muscle tissue itself is largely insensate, meaning if someone were to cut, jab, or even burn you directly on an exposed muscle, you quite likely wouldn't feel much at all. Your muscles don't so much feel massage as they experience massage as it retrains them how to be more relaxed in stillness and fluid in movement. In other words, muscles learn and massage teaches, remembering other body systems. Don't get the idea that it's just the skin, muscles, and bones that count when it comes time to massage somebody. You also deal with a few other anatomical systems that are strongly affected by your touch as, well, these include the circulatory system, nervous system cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. Many people find themselves confusedly referring to various connective tissue structures between the muscles and bones as tendons, ligaments, or cartilage without really knowing what the heck they're talking about. Now, I know you're not one of those people, but just in case you have a friend who's guilty of such anatomical faux pas, here's the skinny to set you straight. Cartilage gives shape to external features like the nose and ears and is also found between bones as a cushion at the joints. Vertebral discs are made from cartilage, for example. Ligaments connect bone to bone. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Chapter 3. Your skin and what's beneath it. 45. Digestive system, respiratory system. The next few sections take a brief look at these systems and discuss how they're important when you give or receive a massage. Circulatory system. The heart is constantly pumping your blood, about 11 pints of it in a 160-pound adult, out through your arteries and into each and every tiny little cell of your body, carrying the nutrients and oxygen that make it possible for you to stay alive. Then the blood travels back to your heart through the veins. On this return trip, the blood has to pass through a series of one-way valves that keep it from accidentally heading back in the wrong direction. Massage strokes have a direct effect on the flow of blood in the veins, so keep in mind that when you massage someone, your strokes should always be in the direction of venous flow. You wouldn't want to accidentally push the blood back through these valves and therefore weaken them. When a number of the valves weaken and stop working efficiently, blood can pool up visibly and form varicose veins. As much as half of all your blood is in your skin at any given moment, which accounts for that rosy glow certain people have, and also for the less healthy appearance of varicose veins and other problems. Massage works powerfully on your circulatory system, and for this reason you should always be aware of how your hands are affecting it. Massage also affects that other circulating fluid referred to in Chapter 1, the lymph. In fact, an entire system of massage called manual lymphatic drainage assists the movement of the lymph because, as you may know from Chapter 1, lymph has no heart of its own to pump it along. Nervous system. As a busy person in the 21st century, you don't have any time to fiddle around reminding your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, and so on. Luckily, your autonomic nervous system takes care of all that for you. This system is further broken down into the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. The sympathetic nerves prepare your body for action, and the parasympathetic nerves calm you down. Massage is a great way to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, thereby lowering the pulse, slowing breathing, and in general, chilling you out. The largest and longest nerve in the body is the sciatic, which many people are painfully familiar with. It runs from the base of your spine down the back, 46 Part 1, discovering massage of your leg, and when any of its length becomes pinched, or trapped between muscles, bones, and connective tissues, it can cause the condition known as sciatica. That's the way all nerves work. You don't want to get in their way or get them irritated. Massage can help soften the muscles and other soft tissue that surround nerves, and sometimes entrap them. You also have specialized nerves called proprioceptors that tell you where your body is in space, giving you your sense of depth, position, and movement. Without them, you'd be internally blind, and by making you more aware of them, massage can help you see yourself in a new way from the inside out. Chapter 6 has some exercises to get you in touch with your proprioceptors. Digestive system. Your digestive system is a tube approximately 5 times as long as you are tall, see figure 3:3. From input to output, your food travels about 30 feet. This tube, along with several digestive organs, has the magical ability to transform whatever enters it into a very special substance known as you. Massage can beneficially stimulate this process if you're familiar with the various twists and turns this tube follows through your body, especially over the large intestine. Just remember to follow the general direction of the large intestine when massaging the abdomen. Respiratory system. Breathing is an extremely important activity for human beings, as can be attested to by the millions of people around the world who have stopped breathing and suffered serious side effects, even death. Massage is an excellent opportunity to engage in some full, deep breathing, as described in Chapter 6. This breathing reconnects you with the source of life and fills your blood with fresh oxygen, which is important because the first place your blood goes when it leaves your heart is the lungs. When you first begin to discover massage, you undoubtedly encounter some strange new words and concepts that may confuse you at first. Have no fear. This chapter is your own personal travel guide to navigating the sometimes puzzling new terrain in the world of massage. Here you find out how to accept the pleasures of massage into your life and how to choose the type of massage that's right for you. You even find an English massage dictionary at the end of the chapter that can help you speak the language of massage with other people. Recognizing massage as healthy pleasure. Many people just can't seem to understand that massage is anything more than indulgence, luxury, and pampering, so they pass on it. Some people turn their noses up at its pleasures as if it were a waste of time. Others shy away from the experience, calling it expensive and extravagant, as if massage were a waste of money. The underlying reasons for both these attitudes are guilt and fear. Many people simply have trouble justifying paying for something that feels as good as massage, or having another human pay such lavish attention to them for an entire hour. Plus, they may just be afraid of something new. 52. Part 2. The Art of Receiving Massage. This guilt is truly unfortunate and completely unnecessary, because massage is 100% good for you. In fact, it has all of the pleasures of many illegal, immoral, or fattening things without any of the negative side effects. That's right, there's not a single thing wrong with massage. Massage is calorie and fat-free, won't rot. Your teeth is impossible to overdose on. Well, okay, massage does have one catch. It can be addictive. After you taste good massage, you're going to want more. Lots more. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can receive a massage every day for the rest of your life with absolutely no negative side effects. In fact, beloved entertainer Bob Hope received a massage almost every day of his life for over 50 years until he passed away at the very ripe old age of 100. You think massage may have helped with that longevity It couldn't hurt. He dragged a number of massage therapists all over the globe with him while he was off entertaining the troops and making his movies. I had the opportunity to massage him once myself. Because of all the massage he'd received over the years, his skin was smooth and supple, and his muscles were amazingly well-toned, even though he was pushing 90 at the time. Of course, you may not have the time or money for a massage every day. But time or money isn't what's most likely to stop you in the first place. It's your attitude. Reducing the stress and tension in your life is a very good reason for wanting to get a massage. You don't need any more justification than that. So little time, so many massages. Knowing what you want to ask for. Okay. So you're filled with enthusiasm to go out and experience your first massage. You pick up the phone, call a massage school or clinic in your area, and ask to book an appointment. See Chapter 5 for details on booking an appointment. What kind of bodywork do you prefer? Ask the receptionist. Bodywork. Chapter 4. Making massage part of your life. A massage roadmap. 53. Yes, massage. Oh, just something that feels good, you say. Of course, but we offer several modalities. Would you prefer the Swedish, the sports massage, the deep tissue, the Heller work, the Aston kinetics, the Thai massage, or the neuromuscular session? Ah, let me get back to you on that, you say, and you hang up, ready to slip quietly back into your non-massage lifestyle before you even begin. Don't let this scenario happen to you. Now that you've decided to get a massage, the last thing you want is to get confused by the vast array of choices available and end up not receiving any kind of massage at all. Be forewarned, this section is just an overview of the types of massage available. For now, I just want to familiarize you with a few of the choices based on the 3 main reasons people decide to get a massage. To relax, to feel better, to improve the body's functioning. Often your reasons are probably a combination of all 3. You may have a little pain in your shoulder you want to ease, but at the same time you want to lower your overall stress level. The 3 components of massage dovetail with each other. What helps you relax may lessen your pain, what realigns your body may help you relax, and so on. The spiritual aspect of massage is a 4th component, a wild card that can pop up unannounced during any type of massage. This spiritual aspect is the way that you can use massage to attune to your own inner experience and get in touch, literally, with a deeper sense of self. Head to Chapter 6 for more information on this topic. So which is the right style? For you? Take a glance at the following categories and become familiar with some of the massage styles associated with each. Massage for relaxation. Stress and tension are real. The human body has developed through eons of evolution to respond to stress and tension by preparing to either fight the obstacle or run away from it. This fight-or-flight response came in very handy when primitive man confronted the occasional large, dangerous animal. But in 54 Part 2, The Art of Receiving Massage. Modern times, people face a constant, unceasing barrage of tension-inducing stimuli, and it's overloading them. If you live in a large metropolitan area, for instance, you're exposed to the equivalent of several dozen grizzly bears and a pack of ravenous wolves every time you venture out into rush hour traffic. If you're interested in relaxing massage, ask for the following. Swedish massage. This method, what most people envision when they think massage, includes stroking, kneading, squeezing, rubbing, and so on. Light work. Light work is a generic term for non-intrusive, gentle massage. Relaxation massage. Another generic term for nice and easy massage. Relaxation massage usually refers to a light form of Swedish massage. Esalen massage. Developed at the famous Esalen Institute in Big Sur, California, this massage features many long, flowing, gentle strokes. When in Hawaii. Once in Hawaii, I was in the mood for a relaxing massage to help relieve jet lag after a long trip. I was working at a spa there, and one of the massage therapists on staff, a native Hawaiian named Wesley Sen, offered to give me a loma lomi massage. Is that relaxing? I asked as we walked together back to my hotel room. "Sure, it's relaxing," he said. "Then why are you carrying that pole with you?" Sure enough, Wesley was carrying a thick 10-foot wooden pole in one hand. "It's just for balance," he said. "Don't worry." Back in my room, Wesley had me lie down on the floor and then proceeded to pray over me in Hawaiian, which sets the mood at the beginning of every true Loma Lomi experience. In his prayer, he invited healing forces to be present with us in the room. Then, for the next hour, he stood on me, kneeled on me, pressed on me, and tossed my limbs around, all the while skillfully keeping his weight partially supported by the pole, one end of which he pushed against the floor to balance himself. Wesley wasn't a small guy, so I was amazed that he could perform this entire balancing act, using my body as a tightrope, and never once caused me the slightest discomfort. Afterwards, I was more relaxed than I'd felt in many months. The relaxation penetrated way down into my joints and up my nerves into my brain. Also, a pain I'd been experiencing in my shoulder disappeared, never to return again, and my digestion improved noticeably too. Skillful relaxation massage can take you way beyond relaxation, healing what ails you and improving your body's functioning as well. Several massage styles offer relaxation as well as deeply therapeutic results, such as Loma Lomi, Traeger, and many others.